Thank you for tuning in to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theater. Now we are talking with Barbara Guertin. Barbara, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Now, Barbara is a very multifaceted, talented woman. She is an actress, a producer, director, and evidently a lighting designer and a costume designer. And what else are you doing these days?
Oh, I'm trying to build a film studio in town.
The film studio in town, there's that. And then there's Simpatico.
And of course, the biggest and most important thing to my heart this week is Simpatico, yes, by Sam Shepard.
So that is going to be opening at the Hanover Theater Friday, May 17th at 8 p.m. Then you've got two performances on Saturday, May 18th, one at 3 and one at 8. And that is being presented by Fourth Wall Stage Company. Tell us a little bit about Fourth Wall Stage Company.
Fourth Wall began a couple of years ago. A gentleman named Frank Bartuka founded the theater company. He really wanted it to be based out of the Worcester area, but there really weren't any spaces available. So he was shown the space down in Whitensville, which is a lovely, the alternative space. However, he and I met up when I also just started a theater company the last 2 years, trying to create a new professional theater company for Worcester. We realized that our missions merged perfectly, and so our companies are now merging perfectly, I might add. And this production happens to be the first endeavor of ACT and Fourth Wall, and we're going to be calling it Act 4 Theater Company.
Oh, I like the ring of that. That's really great. And I read a little bit about Simpatico. It looks like a really fun production. Tell us a little bit about that.
I have to tell you, it is a hoot and a holler. That's the only thing that keeps coming to mind.
A hoot and a holler. You heard it here. Get your cowgirl boots on and let's go.
That's right. It opens in Cucamonga, California. And we go back and forth to Kentucky, especially Lexington, Kentucky, where the Derby is played out every year. So, yes, this is a high-stakes, hysterical comedy about the horse racing world and some con men who have a situation 15 years earlier that went slightly awry. And this is 15 years later and how they have or have not picked up the pieces. So lots of intrigue, some fabulous film noir scenes, including, I would say, his best 3 female characters in out of all of his plays. Sam Shepard is very well known for his male characterizations and the wonderful personalities that he creates. But this is the first time I've ever seen fully drawn out 3-dimensional characters, and these women are they're worth their punch. I'm telling you right now, they're hysterical. They're wonderful to get to know. I think that's the best way to put it.
Oh, how fun! And you know the nice thing about this is it's really affordable too.
Yes, the tickets are $25,
which is great.
It is, and you know, this is live theater. The individuals involved in the productions have amazing credits. Our 2 male leads are from the Boston area, and they were in our Henry Moss production back in the fall. So you'll get to see them play completely different type of Sam Shepard characters this time around. But yes, for $25, you will get an evening of entertainment where you will be laughing uproariously, and you'll also be enjoying I would say the touching feeling moments, especially with the male-female characters. So you're going to feel everything, and I think that's what theater should be all about.
Oh, absolutely. And we're doing something a little unique and a little different with this production as well.
Yes, we're going to be presenting it on the actual stage, meaning the audience will be there alongside the actors in what we'll call like a 3/4 situation, seating situation. So we'll have a couple of hundred people there on the stage right with us. It'll be intimate, but it actually works. We've done it for the Lyceum series right at the Hanover.
Yes, we have had some of our Lyceum series events on the stage. You know, the theater has a lot of different spaces, and depending on the group, it has a whole different feel. But I think people are going to be really excited to be able to actually see a performance from the vantage point of the stage, because that is a lot more intimate than even sitting in the audience. We have obviously a lovely theater. We're an award-winning, nationally recognized theater, but we have 2,300 seats. And I've often heard that one criticism of seeing a theatrical production like you're talking about in a larger theater like that is you miss sometimes the expression on the actor or the actress's faces, right?
That's
that
correct.
will not be happening in this case. Not only that, but How often are people actually allowed onto the stage at the Hanover Theater? Not very often.
You're right. That's a very exciting point to bring up. And yes, you will be right there with the actors, seeing the tears on their face, feeling the moans, the pains. We have one character who drinks a little too much in one scene. And then you also will feel, well, there's no question about it. There are some phenomenally romantic scenes. And I must tell you, a few times I've had to walk out of the room and
She's
fan myself
fan
up.
herself, ladies and gentlemen. We know it's got to be hot.
Yes, there are some very steamy moments.
Steamy moments.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Is there any singing in this?
No, well, somebody sings, Kentucky Derby song for like one line, but no, there is no singing, but there is just amazing acting going on.
Right.
And I don't think this city has seen this level of acting in a number of years.
I'm sure.
This is kind of a unique thing. It kind of brings me back to my New York City roots when I used to do a great deal of off-Broadway theater. And I did help found a theater company back there called the Mint Theater Company, going strong after
Great.
20 some odd years.
Great.
So I'd like to think that I've taken a little piece of that and brought it to Worcester. And I'm so hoping that the general public here in the Worcester County area and beyond will really enjoy what we're creating and that we have more of these shows to come.
Oh, I'm sure. So before we move on to how people can find out more information, just for our listeners who aren't sure what you mean by a three-wall experience, people are probably saying to themselves, okay, I'm trying to picture myself up on the stage. Do I face the back of the theater? Do I face the audience? Help people understand what that means.
We will have a stage area against the back wall of the theater, and the seats will be all around it in like a semicircle. So you will be right there with the characters right on the stage. And so you might get some spit in your eye, but...
And everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves, right?
Yes, no touching the actors and no jumping on the actors either.
Oh.
Some of them are kind of cute.
Oh boy. Okay. So how can people find out more information?
Well, two ways, actually. First, and most importantly, you can go on the Hanover website.
Right, and that's the Hanover Theater, spelled with an RE.org.
That's correct. Or call the Hanover Theater box office.
Yep, that's 877-571-SHOW.
Additionally, you can go on the Fourth Wall, which is the Fourth Wall Stage Company. So that's the number 4, TH, wallstagecompany.org. And that will also direct you to the Hanover Theater as well.
Oh, that's great. And so
yes.
Can people get more information about the backstory and who's...
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. So there's a much larger write-up on the Fourth Wall Stage Company about the actual show. Sam Shepard, if you don't remember him, he's also an actor as well as a playwright.
I remember Sam.
You might remember him from The Right Stuff.
You bet.
Yes, I think he played Jaeger.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yes. So I
Love
mean,
him.
he's a supremely talented individual, an incredibly funny person, and I think you'll see the brilliance factor in his writing in this show. This is one of his later plays, and it was also made into a feature film, which I don't recall ever even seeing out. But I will tell you that this was done in the mid-'90s in New York City, and it's very rarely done. So I am so happy that we're able to bring this to New England. And just so to give everyone a taste of the type of theater that Fourth Wall, Act 4, is going to be bringing to this area in the future.
Well, we are really looking forward to that. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come in and talk with us. And we look forward to seeing you at the theater.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
You're welcome. See you soon.